Welcome back to Sleepy English Academy. Today, we'll be learning English through audio listening. So, get comfortable and close your eyes.
The Sleepy Sock's Big Adventure. Once upon a time, in a comfy sock drawer, lived a little blue sock named Blue Socks. Unlike his bright, fuzzy friends, Blue Socks was all alone. He had lost his partner, Gray Socks, during a busy laundry day. Now he felt small and lonely. Blue Sock's friend, Mama Laundry Basket, was a kind lady with a gentle touch. She wasn't just a laundry basket. She was the keeper of lost socks, making sure lost socks weren't forgotten. One night, a strange quiet filled the room. No swoosh of clothes being folded. No sleepy goodnight whispers. Mama Laundry Basket was worried. A creature called the Stealer of Sleep had arrived. This monster stole the dreams from clothes, leaving them dull and lifeless. Blue Socks, though scared, didn't want clothes to be sad. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of lost dreams. Armed with Mama Laundry Basket's magical sewing needle, it could sew dreams back together, and a pouch of fluffy dryer sheets to chase away bad smells. Blue Socks began his adventure. He bounced across piles of forgotten clothes, meeting creatures made of bad dreams. They were grumpy and sad, having forgotten the joy of good sleep. Blue Socks bravely avoided them, remembering Mama's words, "Good dreams bring happy sleep." Finally, he reached a giant dryer vent, the stealer's lair. Inside, a big, fuzzy creature was stuffing dreams into a pillowcase. Blue Socks surprised the stealer with a gentle boo. Scared and confused, the stealer confessed. He was lonely and just wanted to play. Blue Socks offered him a friendship bracelet made from dryer sheets, a symbol of happy sleep. The stealer, touched, returned all the stolen dreams. With a happy shout, Blue Socks sewed the dreams back into the clothes. The land of lost dreams shimmered with happy colors. The stealer, now a friend, helped Blue Socks return. Back in the room, the clothes were colorful and joyful again. Mama Laundry Basket, relieved and proud, declared Blue Socks a hero. Curled up next to a sleepy sock, Gray Socks, Blue Socks finally felt happy. He learned that even small socks could have big adventures, and even scary creatures just needed a friend. He drifted off to sleep, dreaming of happy adventures and goodnight kisses. My dear listener, I am new to YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
The Tiny Train's Big Journey. In a bustling toy box, lived a little wooden train named Pip. Unlike the shiny metal cars and roaring trucks, Pip was small and plain. He had only one green wheel and a chipped paint job. He felt left out, dreaming of a grand adventure outside the box. His friend, Mr. Fuzzy Bear, was the wisest toy in the box. He wasn't just a bear, he was the keeper of stories, reminding everyone that even simple things had amazing adventures. One day, a strange quiet fell upon the toy box. No excited shouts during playtime, no happy giggles from the children. Mr. Fuzzy Bear explained a scary shadow called the Playtime Stealer had arrived. He stole all the joy from toys, leaving them dull and lifeless. Pip, though afraid, couldn't bear a sad toy box. He volunteered to find the playtime stealer in the land of forgotten games. Armed with Mr. Fuzzy Bear's magical rattle, it could bring back forgotten fun, and a box of fluffy cotton balls. To make soft landings, Pip began his adventure. He chugged past rows of dusty board games and forgotten puzzles. He met grumpy toys, their faces etched with boredom. Pip toot-tooted his one wheel, remembering Mr. Fuzzy Bear's words, "Playtime is fun time." Finally, he reached a giant wooden door, the playtime stealer's lair. Inside, a large, dusty puppet with floppy arms was hiding all the toys under a blanket. Pip whistled his little whistle, startling the stealer. Scared and lonely, the stealer confessed. He was tired of his strings, missing the joy of playing. Pip offered him a friendly tug on his string, a symbol of joyful play. The stealer, touched, released all the hidden toys. Pip rolled around the land of forgotten games, using the magical rattle to remind the toys how to play. Giggles and laughter filled the air. The playtime stealer, now a friend, helped Pip return to the toy box. The box was filled with happy shouts and playful clatter once more. Mr. Fuzzy Bear, relieved and proud, declared Pip the bravest train in the box. Curled up next to his toy friends, Pip finally felt happy and included. He learned even a tiny train could have big journeys, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to play with. With a happy choo-choo, Pip drifted off to sleep, dreaming of future adventures in the toy box.
The sleepy firefly's big glow. Deep within a grassy meadow lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Unlike his bright, flashing friends, Flicker's light was weak and wobbly. He worried he wouldn't be able to light up the night sky like the others. His friend, Mama Moonbeam, was a gentle, silvery light who watched over the meadow. She wasn't just a moonbeam, she was the weaver of nighttime, making sure the firefly's light filled the darkness with magic. One night, an eerie silence fell over the meadow. No twinkling fireflies, no happy chirps from sleeping crickets. Mama Moonbeam was worried. A creature called the Nighttime Nibble had arrived. This monster stole the firefly's glow, leaving everything dark and scary. Flicker, though scared, didn't want the darkness to win. He volunteered to find the nibble in the land of lost light. Armed with Mama Moonbeam's magical dewdrop, it held the power of 1,000 moonbeams, and a pouch of soft dandelion fluff to blow away bad dreams. Flicker embarked on his adventure. He fluttered through fields of sleeping flowers and past grumpy night creatures who stumbled around in the dark. Flicker offered his weak glow, remembering Mama Moonbeam's words, "Even tiny lights can chase away darkness." Finally, he reached a tall, withered sunflower, the Nibble's den. Inside, a small, shadowy creature with large eyes was hoarding the stolen light in a jar. Flicker surprised the Nibble with a gentle flutter of his wings. Scared and lonely, the Nibble confessed. He couldn't see in the dark and needed the light to feel safe. Flicker offered him a few dandelion seeds that would light up in the wind, a symbol of gentle night magic. The Nibble, touched, returned all the stolen light. Flicker sprinkled Mama Moonbeam's dewdrop, filling the land of lost light with a soft glow. The creatures cheered and danced in the returning light. The Nibble, now a friend, flew with Flicker back to the meadow. The meadow shimmered with 1,000,000 fireflies, each glowing brightly. Mama Moonbeam, relieved and proud, declared Flicker the keeper of the night. Tucked beneath a large leaf, Flicker finally felt his weak light was important. He learned that even the smallest firefly could light up the night, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to share the light. With a gentle flicker, Flicker drifted off to sleep, dreaming of a sky filled with twinkling stars and his own special glow.
The Little Bell's Big Ring. High on a bookshelf, nestled between colorful picture books, lived a tiny bell named Jingles. Unlike the shiny wind chimes and clanging dinner bells, Jingles was small and rusty. He couldn't make a loud ring, only a soft, tinkling sound. He worried he wouldn't be able to join the other bells in their joyful music. His friend, Miss Storyteller, was a kind woman with a voice that echoed with tales. She wasn't just a storyteller. She was the keeper of happy sounds, reminding everyone that music and laughter filled the world with joy. One day, a strange quiet filled the room. No cheerful singing from children reading stories, no happy laughter echoing from play. Miss Storyteller explained a shadowy figure called the Stealer of Sounds had arrived. This creature stole all the joyful noises, leaving everything dull and silent. Jingles, though afraid, couldn't bear a quiet world. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of lost melodies. Armed with Miss Storyteller's magic paintbrush, it could paint back missing sounds, and a fluffy feather to tickle noses and make them giggle. Jingles began his brave adventure. He bounced past rows of silent musical instruments and forgotten songs with drooping notes. He met grumpy creatures who sighed instead of singing, their faces etched with boredom. Jingles gave a tiny tinkle, remembering Miss Storyteller's words, "Even the smallest sound can bring back a melody." Finally, he reached a giant, dusty gramophone, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, cloaked figure with muffled ears was trying to trap sounds in a big box. Jingles surprised the stealer with a gentle ting-a-ling. Scared and lonely, the stealer confessed. He couldn't hear the beautiful sounds because of his big cloak. Jingles offered a small, feather-light hat with a bell, a symbol of joyful music. The stealer, touched, released all the trapped sounds. Jingles soared through the land of lost melodies, using Miss Storyteller's paintbrush to bring back the missing notes to forgotten songs. The world hummed with melodies, laughter filled the air. The stealer, now a friend, helped Jingles return to the bookshelf. The room was filled with happy chatter and playful songs once more. Miss Storyteller, relieved and proud, declared Jingles the waker of sounds. Curled up next to his fellow bells, Jingles finally felt his small voice mattered. He learned that even the littlest bell could bring back the music, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to listen. With a peaceful jingle, Jingles drifted off to sleep, dreaming of a world overflowing with joyful sounds and his own special ring.
The tiny seed's big dream. Deep within a dusty garden shed, nestled amongst gardening tools, lived a tiny seed named Sprout. Unlike his plump, round friends bursting with life, Sprout was small and wrinkled. He worried he wouldn't ever be able to grow into a beautiful flower like the others. His friend, Old Watering Can, was a gentle soul with a spout that dripped wisdom. He wasn't just a watering can, he was the keeper of growth, reminding everyone that even the smallest things could become something magnificent. One day, an unsettling chill crept into the shed. No happy hum of busy bees, no joyful chirping of birds in the garden outside. Old Watering Can explained a creature called the Stealer of Sunshine had arrived. This monster stole the sunlight and warmth, leaving the garden cold and lifeless. Sprout, though afraid, couldn't bear a bleak garden. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten blooms. Armed with Old Watering Can's magical sprinkle of sunshine, it held the power of a summer day and a pouch of soft, damp cotton. To nurture seeds that forgot to grow, Sprout embarked on his adventure. He tumbled across cracked patches of earth and past wilted plants drooping sadly. He met grumpy creatures who shivered in the cold, their faces full of despair. Sprout offered a whisper of his dream to grow tall, remembering Old Watering Can's words, "Even the smallest seed holds a big dream." Finally, he reached a towering, withered tree trunk, the stealer's den. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with icy fingers was hiding the sun behind a dark cloth. Sprout surprised the stealer with a gentle nudge. Scared and lonely, the stealer confessed. He yearned for warmth but feared the sun's brightness. Sprout offered a small, knitted sun hat, made from sunshine sparkles caught in the shed, a symbol of gentle warmth. The stealer, touched, uncovered the sun. Sprout sprinkled Old Watering Can's sunshine, bathing the land of forgotten blooms in golden light. The plants unfurled their leaves and reached for the sky. The creatures cheered and basked in the warmth. The stealer, now a friend, helped Sprout return to the shed. The garden shimmered with the promise of new life. Old Watering Can, relieved and proud, declared Sprout the dreamer of growth. Tucked inside a cozy pot filled with fresh soil, Sprout finally felt his tiny dream mattered. He learned that even the smallest seed could blossom into something beautiful, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to share the sunshine. With a sigh of contentment, Sprout drifted off to sleep, dreaming of reaching tall and blooming bright in the warm sun.
The sleepy raindrop's big splash. High above the clouds, nestled between fluffy cotton balls, lived a tiny raindrop named Drizzle. Unlike his big, plump friends who poured down in mighty showers, Drizzle was a wisp of mist, barely a drop at all. He worried he wouldn't be able to join the thunderous roars and bring refreshment to the thirsty earth below. His friend, Ms. Cloud, was a gentle giant with a heart full of rain. She wasn't just a cloud, she was the weaver of water, reminding everyone that rain wasn't just falling water, but a gift that nourished life. One day, a strange stillness hung heavy in the air. No pitter-patter on thirsty leaves, no playful laughter from children splashing in puddles. Ms. Cloud explained a grumpy creature called the Sun Stealer had arrived. This creature stole all the rain, leaving the land dry and cracked. Drizzle, though scared, couldn't stand the parched earth. He volunteered to find the Sun Stealer in the land of forgotten rainbows. Armed with Ms. Cloud's magical snowflake, it held the power of 1,000 winter storms and a fluffy cloud pillow. To catch sleepy sunbeams, Drizzle began his adventure. He drifted through empty rivers and past wilting flowers with drooping heads. He met grumpy creatures with dusty skin, their faces etched with thirst. Drizzle offered a cool mist, remembering Ms. Cloud's words, "Even the smallest drop can quench a thirst." Finally, he reached a giant, scorched rock, the Sun Stealer's lair. Inside, a large, fiery creature with furrowed brows was holding onto a giant bucket overflowing with stolen rain. Drizzle surprised the Stealer with a gentle pitter-patter. Confused and lonely, the Stealer confessed. He yearned for the coolness of rain, but feared its power. Drizzle offered a tiny, rainbow-colored umbrella, made from leftover rain showers caught in the clouds, a symbol of gentle refreshment. The Stealer, touched, released all the stolen rain. Drizzle sprinkled Ms. Cloud's snowflake, unleashing a gentle rain that filled the land of forgotten rainbows with sparkling puddles. The creatures cheered, splashing and drinking thirstily. The Stealer, now a friend, helped Drizzle return to the clouds. The land below shimmered with a renewed spark of life. Ms. Cloud, relieved and proud, declared Drizzle the keeper of rainbows. Cuddling up next to his fellow raindrops, Drizzle finally felt his tiny purpose mattered. He learned that even the smallest drop could bring a refreshing change, and even grumpy creatures just needed a friend to share the coolness of rain. With a sigh of contentment, Drizzle drifted off to sleep, dreaming of falling down with his friends, creating rainbows across the vast blue sky.
The tiny key's big unlock. Deep within a dusty attic, nestled amongst forgotten treasures, lived a tiny key named Click. Unlike his bright, brass cousins with intricate designs, Click was dull and chipped. He worried he wouldn't be able to unlock anything important. His friend, Ms. Dusty Trunk, was a wise soul with a creaking hinge that held secrets. She wasn't just a trunk. She was the keeper of memories, reminding everyone that even the simplest things could unlock a treasure trove of stories. One day, an unsettling silence fell upon the attic. No excited whispers as old photographs were unearthed. No joyful giggles as children explored the forgotten toys. Ms. Dusty Trunk explained a creature called the Stealer of Stories had arrived. This monster stole the memories from objects, leaving them dull and lifeless. Click, though afraid, couldn't bear a memoryless attic. He volunteered to find the Stealer in the land of lost tales. Armed with Ms. Dusty Trunk's magical thimble, it held the power of 1,000 memories, and a bag of soft, scented lavender to chase away bad dreams. Click began his adventure. He bounced past dusty portraits with faded smiles and forgotten dolls with blank stares. He met grumpy creatures with foggy memories, their faces lost in confusion. Click offered a silent whisper of a forgotten rhyme, remembering Ms. Dusty Trunk's words, "Even the smallest key unlocks a precious memory." Finally, he reached a towering, cobweb-covered bookshelf, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with swirling memories in its arms was stuffing them into a dark box. Click surprised the stealer with a gentle tap. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to understand the stories and the memories, but found them overwhelming. Click offered a tiny, hand-stitched book filled with drawings based on Ms. Dusty Trunk stories, a symbol of understanding the past. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen memories. Click sprinkled Ms. Dusty Trunk's thimble, showering the land of lost tales with shimmering sparks of recollection. The portrait smiled again. The dolls remembered their games. The creatures cheered, their faces filled with the joy of remembering. The stealer, now a friend, helped Click return to the attic. The attic buzzed with the whispers of rediscovered stories. Ms. Dusty Trunk, relieved and proud, declared Click the unlocker of memories. Curled up next to a worn teddy bear, Click finally felt his purpose was important. He learned that even the smallest key could unlock a treasure trove of stories, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to understand the past. With a soft click, Click drifted off to sleep, dreaming of unlocking memories for all the forgotten treasures in the attic.
The Sleepy Shell's Big Journey. Deep within a seashell collection, nestled amongst pearly nautiluses and spiraling conch shells, lived a tiny seashell named Shelley. Unlike his brightly colored cousins with smooth curves, Shelley was drab and chipped. He dreamt of adventures in the vast ocean, but worried he wasn't strong enough to survive the waves. His friend, Old Anchor, was a wise soul with a weathered body and a heart full of stories. He wasn't just an anchor. He was the keeper of the ocean, reminding everyone that even the smallest shell held a whisper of the sea's magic. One day, an unsettling silence filled the room. No rhythmic whoosh of waves crashing, no playful chatter of children building sandcastles. Old Anchor explained a creature called the Stealer of Joy had arrived. This monstrous octopus stole the happiness from the ocean, leaving everything dull and lifeless. Shelley, though scared, couldn't bear a joyless ocean. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten songs. Armed with Old Anchor's magical seashell necklace, it held the power of 1,000 ocean melodies, and a pouch of shimmering sand to remind creatures of playful beach days. Shelley embarked on his adventure. He tumbled through silent coral reefs and past grumpy fish who swam in slow circles. He met creatures with vacant eyes, their faces etched with boredom. Shelley offered a faint echo of a playful sea shanty, remembering Old Anchor's words, "Even the smallest shell holds a song of the sea." Finally, he reached a giant, jagged rock the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy octopus with droopy tentacles was hiding under a net, muffling happy sounds from seashells. Shelley surprised the stealer with a gentle tap. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned for the joy of the ocean but feared its overwhelming energy. Shelley offered a tiny, woven bracelet made from shimmering seaweed, a symbol of the ocean's gentle sway. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen joy. Shelley sprinkled old Anchor's magical seashell, filling the land of forgotten songs with the music of waves and playful chattering fish. The creatures cheered and danced, their faces filled with renewed happiness. The stealer, now a friend, helped Shelley return to the seashell collection. The room filled with the gentle sounds of crashing waves. Old Anchor, relieved and proud, declared Shelley the singer of ocean songs. Tucked amongst his seashell friends, Shelley finally felt his purpose mattered. He learned that even the smallest shell could hold a song of the sea, and even scary creatures just needed a friend to experience the ocean's joy. With a sigh of contentment, Shelley drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the vast ocean waves and the wonderful stories hidden within his shell.
The Snuggly Sock's Big Hug. In a cozy drawer filled with mismatched socks, lived a tiny, lonely sock named Snuggles. Unlike his bright, fuzzy friends who always found their pairs, Snuggles was a single, plain white sock. He dreamt of giving big, warm hugs, but worried nobody would want a hug from a lonely sock. His friend, Mrs. Patchwork Quilt, was a kind soul with squares of countless fabrics sewn together, holding stories from many lands. She wasn't just a quilt, she was the weaver of comfort, reminding everyone that even the smallest things could offer the biggest comfort. One day, a strange chill crept into the room. No happy giggles during bedtime stories, no contented sighs from sleepy children. Mrs. Patchwork Quilt explained a creature called the Stealer of Smiles had arrived. This grumpy cloud monster stole joy from everyone, leaving them cold and sad. Snuggles, though afraid, couldn't bear a world without smiles. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of lost laughter. Armed with Mrs. Patchwork Quilt's magical needle and thread, it held the power to mend broken smiles and a bag of fluffy cotton balls. To create soft, huggable clouds, Snuggles began his adventure. He bounced past rows of stiff teddy bears and grumpy dolls with frowns. He met shivering creatures with tight lips, their faces etched with gloom. Snuggles offered a gentle wiggle, remembering Mrs. Patchwork Quilt's words, "Even the smallest comfort can warm a cold heart." Finally, he reached a giant, storm cloud, the stealer's den. Inside, a large, gray creature with tear-filled eyes was hiding under a dark blanket, hoarding stolen smiles. Snuggles surprised the stealer with a soft nudge. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to share joy but feared rejection. Snuggles offered a tiny, knitted crown made from colorful yarn scraps, a symbol of friendship and happiness. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen smiles. Snuggles used Mrs. Patchwork Quilt's needle and thread to mend the broken smiles back onto the sad faces. Laughter filled the land of lost laughter as the creatures beamed with joy. The Stealer, now a friend, helped Snuggles return to the drawer. The room buzzed with joyful shouts and playful giggles once more. Mrs. Patchwork Quilt, relieved and proud, declared Snuggles the giver of warm hugs. Nestled amongst his fellow socks, even finding a friendly pair, Snuggles finally felt his purpose mattered. He learned that even the smallest sock could offer comfort, and even grumpy clouds just needed a friend to share a hug. With a content sigh, Snuggles drifted off to sleep, dreaming of giving big, warm hugs to everyone who needed them. The Lost Button's Big Stitch. In a cluttered sewing kit, nestled amongst colorful threads and gleaming needles, lived a tiny, chipped button named Button. Unlike his shiny brothers in perfect pairs, Button was lonely and incomplete. He dreamt of holding things together, but worried he wasn't strong enough to be truly useful. His friend, Ms. Scissors, was a wise soul with a sharp snip and a heart full of craftiness. She wasn't just scissors, she was the weaver of holes, reminding everyone that even the smallest piece could make a grand creation complete. One day, an unsettling silence fell upon the kit. No excited chattering as needles threaded colorful yarn, no happy sighs as new projects took shape. Ms. Scissors explained a shadowy figure called the Stealer of Creation had arrived. This monstrous pair of shears stole the inspiration from crafts, leaving everything unfinished and dull. Button, though scared, couldn't bear a world devoid of creation. He volunteered to find the Stealer in the land of forgotten stitches. Armed with Ms. Scissors' magical spool of thread, it held the power of 1,000 finished projects and a bag of soft felt scraps. To inspire playful ideas, Button embarked on his adventure. He rolled past rows of dusty knitting needles and abandoned doll bodies with gaping holes. He met discouraged creatures with listless expressions, their faces etched with frustration. Button offered a hopeful jiggle, remembering Ms. Scissors' words, "Even the smallest piece can complete a grand design." Finally, he reached a towering spool of rusty thread, the Stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with tangled blades skulked, hoarding stolen ideas in a giant thimble. Button surprised the Stealer with a gentle nudge. Confused and lonely, the Stealer confessed. They yearned to create but were overwhelmed by the pressure of perfection. Button offered a tiny, hand-stitched heart made from felt scraps, a symbol of the joy of creation. The Stealer, touched, released all the stolen ideas. Button unfurled Ms. Scissors' magical thread, weaving colorful patterns through the land of forgotten stitches. The project sprang back to life, inspiring the creatures to create with joy. Laughter filled the air as needles danced and yarn flowed freely. The Stealer, now a friend, helped Button return to the sewing kit. The kit buzzed with the happy hum of creation once more. Ms. Scissors, relieved and proud, declared Button the champion of completion. Nestled amongst his fellow buttons, finally paired with a cheerful polka dot friend, Button finally felt his purpose mattered. He learned that even the smallest button could complete a grand design, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to share the joy of creation. With a contented sigh, Button drifted off to sleep, dreaming of holding colorful fabrics close and stitching new dreams into reality.
The sleepy firefly's big discovery. Deep within a dusty lampshade, nestled amongst tangled wires and forgotten bulbs, lived a tiny firefly named Flicker. Unlike his bright, flashing friends who lit up the night sky, Flicker's light was dim and flickering. He worried he wouldn't be able to contribute to the nighttime magic like the others. His friend, Old Lamp, was a gentle soul with a warm glow and a soft hum. He wasn't just a lamp, he was the keeper of nighttime wonders, reminding everyone that even the smallest light could illuminate the darkness in unique ways. One night, an unsettling silence fell upon the room. No cheerful chirping of crickets, no playful whispers of children peeking through windows. Old Lamp explained a creature called the Dream Stealer had arrived. This shadowy bat with fuzzy wings stole dreams from everyone, leaving them with only blank slates when they woke. Flicker, though scared, couldn't bear a world without dreams. He volunteered to find the Dream Stealer in the land of lost imagination. Armed with Old Lamp's magical glass prism, it could capture and project forgotten dreams, and a pouch of fluffy dandelion fluff to tickle noses and spark creativity, Flicker began his adventure. He fluttered past rows of drooping flowers and grumpy night creatures with empty eyes. They mumbled about boring nights, their faces etched with disappointment. Flicker offered a gentle pulse of his dim light, remembering Old Lamp's words, "Even the smallest light can illuminate a forgotten dream." Finally, he reached a giant, withered tree stump, the Dream Stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy bat with droopy wings was cradling a jar filled with swirling, dreamlike images. Flicker surprised the stealer with a soft chirp. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to experience the joy of dreaming, but feared the strangeness and unpredictability. Flicker offered a tiny, hand-woven dream catcher made from dandelion fluff, a symbol of capturing and understanding dreams. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen dreams. Flicker sprinkled the dreams through the land of lost imagination using the magical prism, painting the night sky with colorful images and forgotten memories. The creatures gasped and cheered, their faces filled with wonder. The stealer, now a friend, helped Flicker return to the lampshade. The room buzzed with excited whispers as children recounted their fantastical dreams. Old Lamp, relieved and proud, declared Flicker the keeper of unseen light. Tucked within the shade, nestled amongst his fellow fireflies, Flicker finally felt his unique light mattered. He learned that even the dimmest light could hold the key to forgotten dreams, and even shy creatures just needed a friend to explore the wonders of their own imagination. With a peaceful blink, Flicker drifted off to sleep, dreaming of illuminating the night with his special glow and helping others discover the magic hidden within every dream.
The Little Acorn's Big Adventure. Deep within a cluttered attic, nestled amongst dusty boxes and forgotten trinkets, lived a tiny acorn named Acorn. Unlike his plump, round brothers destined to become mighty oaks, Acorn was small and misshapen. He dreamt of reaching for the sky, but worried he wouldn't be strong enough to grow tall like the others. His friend, Ms. Rocking Horse, was a gentle soul with a worn coat and a heart full of stories. She wasn't just a rocking horse. She was the keeper of growth, reminding everyone that even the smallest seed held the potential for something magnificent. One day, an unsettling quiet filled the attic. No excited chatter of squirrels gathering nuts, no happy chirping of birds singing in nearby trees. Ms. Rocking Horse explained a creature called the Stealer of Seasons had arrived. This grumpy snowman stole the warmth and sunshine, leaving the world cold and gray. Acorn, though afraid, couldn't bear a world stuck in winter. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten blooms. Armed with Ms. Rocking Horse's magical pine cone, it held the power of 1,000 spring days, and a pouch of soft moss to nurture seeds that forgot to grow. Acorn embarked on his adventure. He tumbled past rows of barren branches and grumpy creatures huddled in thick blankets. They shivered and grumbled about the endless winter, their faces etched with despair. Acorn offered a hopeful wiggle, remembering Ms. Rocking Horse's words, "Even the smallest seed holds the promise of warmth." Finally, he reached a towering, icy mountain, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shivering creature with frosty fingers was hiding under a thick snow blanket, hoarding sunshine in a giant snowflake. Acorn surprised the stealer with a gentle nudge. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned for the warmth of other seasons, but feared the change and uncertainty. Acorn offered a tiny, knitted sun hat made from fallen leaves, a symbol of the changing seasons. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen sunshine. Acorn sprinkled Ms. Rocking Horse's magical pine cone, showering the land of forgotten blooms with golden light. The snow melted, buds sprouted on branches, and creatures cheered, basking in the returning warmth. The stealer, now a friend, helped Acorn return to the attic. The attic shimmered with the promise of a new season. Ms. Rocking Horse, relieved and proud, declared Acorn the sprout of hope. Tucked inside a cozy pot filled with fresh soil, Acorn finally felt his small size held a big promise. He learned that even the smallest seed could hold the power of new beginnings, and even grumpy creatures just needed a friend to understand the beauty of changing seasons. With a contented sigh, Acorn drifted off to sleep, dreaming of pushing his roots deep and reaching for the bright, warm sun one day.
The rusty key's big secret. Deep within a dusty keyhole, nestled amongst forgotten treasures and worn-out hinges, lived a tiny rusty key named Rusty. Unlike his bright, polished brothers who unlocked grand doors. Rusty was dull and chipped. He dreamt of opening secret places, but worried no important door would trust him to turn. His friend, Ms. Weathered Book, was a wise soul with yellowed pages and a heart full of stories. She wasn't just a book. She was the keeper of mysteries, reminding everyone that even the smallest key could unlock secrets beyond imagination. One day, an unsettling silence fell upon the room. No excited whispers as pages were turned. No joyful shouts of discovery from children reading stories. Ms. Weathered Book explained a shadowy creature called the Stealer of Knowledge had arrived. This monstrous gargoyle stole the stories from books, leaving them blank and empty. Rusty, though scared, couldn't bear a world without stories. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten words. Armed with Ms. Weathered Book's magical inkwell, it held the power of 1,000 untold stories and a pouch of soft, scented bookmarks to mark the start of a new adventure. Rusty began his adventure. He squeaked past rows of dusty books with faded covers and silent libraries with empty shelves. He met grumpy creatures who mumbled in confusion, their faces etched with boredom. Rusty offered a gentle creak of his rusty hinges, remembering Ms. Weathered Book's words, "Even the smallest key can unlock a world of knowledge." Finally, he reached a towering, crumbling castle, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with a frowning stone face was guarding a giant vault filled with captured stories. Rusty surprised the stealer with a soft click. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to understand the stories but found them vast and overwhelming. Rusty offered a tiny, hand-stitched book made from scraps of old paper, a symbol of the joy of learning. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen stories. Rusty dipped Ms. Weathered Book's magic inkwell, filling the land of forgotten words with shimmering streams of words and vibrant illustrations. The book sprang back to life, whispering tales of adventure and knowledge. The creatures cheered, their faces filled with wonder. The stealer, now a friend, helped Rusty return to the keyhole. The room buzzed with excited chatter and the rustling of turning pages once more. Ms. Weathered Book, relieved and proud, declared Rusty the unlocker of secrets. Nestled within the keyhole, Rusty finally felt his purpose mattered. He learned that even the smallest key could unlock a treasure trove of stories, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to share the joy of learning. With a content sigh, Rusty dreamt of secrets waiting to be discovered, and the stories held within every keyhole waiting to be unlocked.
The Curious Pebble's Big Question. Deep within a babbling brook, nestled amongst smooth stones and colorful pebbles, lived a tiny, bumpy pebble named Pippin. Unlike his polished, round friend skipping merrily downstream, Pippin was dull and uneven. He dreamt of exploring the vast ocean, but worried the strong currents wouldn't let him stay afloat. His friend, Old Turtle, was a wise soul with a wrinkled shell and a heart full of stories. He wasn't just a turtle, he was the keeper of the river, reminding everyone that even the smallest pebble could journey far and discover wonders beyond their stream. One day, an unsettling stillness fell upon the brook. No playful splashing of fish, no happy chatter of children skipping stones. Old Turtle explained a shadowy creature called the Stealer of Flow had arrived. This grumpy old crab stole the current from the river, leaving it stagnant and lifeless. Pippin, though scared, couldn't bear a still brook. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten journeys. Armed with Old Turtle's magical piece of driftwood, it held the power of 1,000 flowing rivers and a pouch of soft river moss to remind creatures of the joy of movement. Pippin embarked on his adventure. He tumbled through silent stretches of water and past grumpy fish hiding in murky corners. They spoke of a boring, unchanging world, their faces etched with despair. Pippin offered a hopeful wobble, remembering Old Turtle's words, "Even the smallest pebble can travel the farthest current." Finally, he reached a giant, beached ship, the Stealer's lair. Inside, a large, crabby creature with scowling eyes was damming the flow of a river with a pile of rocks. Pippin surprised the Stealer with a gentle nudge. Confused and lonely, the Stealer confessed. They yearned for the excitement of exploration, but feared the unknown dangers of the open water. Pippin offered a tiny, hand-painted seashell, a symbol of the vastness and wonder of the world. The Stealer, touched, removed the rocks, releasing the current. Pippin used Old Turtle's magical driftwood, sending a surge of energy through the land of forgotten journeys. The water roared back to life, carrying fish downstream and swirling pebbles in a joyous dance. The creatures cheered, feeling the current pull them forward. The Stealer, now a friend, helped Pippin return to the brook. The brook buzzed with the happy gurgling of flowing water once more. Old Turtle, relieved and proud, declared Pippin the seeker of new waters. Resting amongst his fellow pebbles, Pippin finally felt his odd shape allowed him to travel in unexpected ways. He learned that even the smallest pebble could journey far, and even grumpy creatures just needed a friend to show them the beauty of exploration. With a content sigh, Pippin settled into the current, dreaming of the day he would tumble into the vast, waiting ocean.
The sleepy raindrops' big symphony. High above the clouds, nestled between playful snowflakes and fluffy cotton balls, lived a tiny raindrop named Drizzle. Unlike his big, booming friends who roared in mighty storms, Drizzle was a wisp of mist, barely a whisper of water. He worried he wouldn't be able to join the crashing thunder and create a powerful melody in the grand symphony of rain. His friend, Miss Cloud, was a gentle giant with a heart full of wind and a voice that boomed with the power of 1,000 storms. She wasn't just a cloud. She was the conductor of the sky, reminding everyone that even the smallest drop could contribute to a beautiful symphony. One day, an unsettling silence hung heavy in the air. No pitter-patter on thirsty leaves, no joyful shouts of children splashing in puddles. Miss Cloud explained a grumpy creature called the Stealer of Melodies had arrived. This monstrous gargoyle with plugged ears stole the sounds of rain, leaving the world quiet and dull. Drizzle, though scared, couldn't bear a world without the music of rain. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten rhythms. Armed with Miss Cloud's magical seashell, it held the power of 1,000 rainstorms, and a pouch of soft, wind-blown feathers to tickle ears and awaken the joy of sound. Drizzle began his adventure. He drifted past silent meadows and sleepy towns with hushed streets. He met grumpy creatures with blank stares, their faces etched with a longing for forgotten sounds. Drizzle offered a gentle hum, remembering Miss Cloud's words, "Even the smallest drop plays a part in the rain's grand symphony." Finally, he reached a towering, silent cathedral, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with oversized hands covered its ears, huddling away from a collection of stolen sounds trapped in shimmering bubbles. Drizzle surprised the stealer with a soft tap. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to experience the music of rain, but found it overwhelming and chaotic. Drizzle offered a tiny, hand-carved whistle made from a fallen branch, a symbol of the calming melody of raindrops. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen sounds. Drizzle sprinkled Miss Cloud's magical seashell, unleashing a gentle shower that filled the land of forgotten rhythms with the music of raindrops pattering on leaves and wind whispering through the grass. The creatures cheered, swaying and tapping their feet to the symphony of nature. The stealer, now a friend, helped Drizzle return to the clouds. The world hummed with the beautiful melody of rain once more. Miss Cloud, relieved and proud, declared Drizzle the maestro of mist. Cuddled up next to his fellow raindrops, Drizzle finally felt his quiet whisper mattered. He learned that even the smallest drop could contribute to a grand symphony, and even grumpy creatures just needed a friend to appreciate the beauty of sound. With a sigh of contentment, Drizzle drifted off to sleep, dreaming of joining his friends in the next rainstorm, creating a powerful melody that would wash over the world. The patchwork butterfly's big transformation. Deep within a forgotten butterfly case, nestled amongst vibrant wings and shimmering patterns, lived a tiny, mismatched butterfly named Patch. Unlike his graceful companions with perfect symmetry, Patch's wings were a jumble of colors and leftover scraps. He dreamt of soaring through flower fields, but worried he wouldn't be beautiful enough to fly amongst the others. His friend, Ms. Butterfly Net, was a gentle soul with a worn mesh and a heart full of stories from the wind. She wasn't just a net. She was the keeper of the meadow, reminding everyone that even the most unusual creature could have a magnificent transformation. One day, an unsettling stillness fell upon the meadow. No happy buzzing of bees collecting pollen. No joyful fluttering of butterflies amongst the flowers. Ms. Butterfly Net explained a shadowy figure called the Stealer of Colors had arrived. This monstrous crow with dull feathers stole the vibrancy from the land, leaving everything muted and gray. Patch, though scared, couldn't bear a world without color. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of lost hues. Armed with Ms. Butterfly-Net's magical paintbrush, it held the power of 1,000 blooming flowers and a pouch of shimmering pollen dust to sprinkle forgotten colors back to life. Patch embarked on his adventure. He fluttered past droopy flowers with wilted petals and grumpy creatures with colorless clothes. They spoke in dull monotones, their faces etched with a longing for forgotten beauty. Patch offered a flurry of his mismatched wings, remembering Ms. Butterfly-Net's words. Even the most unusual creature can add a splash of color to the world. Finally, he reached a giant Kuthurkuwe, Kusikwa, withered and dead tree, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy crow with tear-filled eyes was hoarding stolen colors in a dark jar. Patch surprised the stealer with a gentle nudge. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to create beauty but feared rejection for their dull feathers. Patch offered a tiny, hand-stitched pouch made from leftover fabric scraps, a symbol of the beauty in unique creations. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen colors. Patch dipped Ms. Butterfly-Net's magical paintbrush, showering the land of lost hues with vibrant hues and swirling patterns. The flowers bloomed in a rainbow of colors. The creatures gasped in awe, and their clothes shimmered with newfound vibrancy. The stealer, now a friend, helped Patch return to the meadow. The meadow buzzed with the happy hum of bees and the joyful fluttering of colorful wings once more. Ms. Butterfly-Net, relieved and proud, declared Patch the weaver of wonder. Gently landing on a fragrant flower, Patch finally felt his unique beauty mattered. He learned that even the most unusual creature could transform the world with color, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to embrace the beauty of being different. With a content sigh, Patch spread his mismatched wings, ready to soar through the meadow, a beacon of colorful joy in a world reborn.
In a bustling hospital filled with the rhythmic beeping of machines and the hushed whispers of doctors and nurses, lived a tiny, forgotten bandage. Unlike his crisp, white companions who offered comfort and support to healing wounds, the forgotten bandage was a faded patchwork of colorful fabrics, each piece a memento from a different patient's story. He felt like a jumble of memories, worried no one would find him useful or interesting. His confidant was Dr. Anya, a wise old physician with eyes that held the warmth of 1,000 healed patients and a gentle touch that soothed anxieties. Dr. Anya wasn't just a physician. She was the weaver of well-being, a protector who ensured the balance between illness and recovery, reminding everyone that healing was a journey, not a destination, and even the smallest act of kindness could mend a broken spirit. One day, a chilling silence descended upon the vibrant hospital. The usual symphony of steady heartbeats on monitors, the comforting murmurs of patients on the road to recovery, and the encouraging words of Dr. Anya, all vanished. The other bandages lay limp and lifeless, their colors muted and their once crisp edges frayed. The hospital, once a beacon of hope, looked sterile and devoid of the human touch that eased the anxieties of the sick and injured. Dr. Anya, her brow furrowed with worry, explained a chilling legend. The devourer of empathy, a creature fueled by isolation and a lack of compassion, had awakened. It devoured the very essence of human connection from the patients and staff, leaving behind a sterile hospital devoid of the warmth and care that aided healing. Determined to restore the human connection and bring back the warmth of compassion, the forgotten bandage, despite his insecurities about his mismatched design, volunteered to venture into the cavern of broken hearts, the devourer's domain. Armed with Dr. Anya's stethoscope, imbued with the power of forgotten kindnesses, and a pouch filled with shimmering threads, each one capturing a faint echo of a patient's story of care and support, the forgotten bandage embarked on his daring journey. His path wound through twisting corridors where echoes of forgotten laughter shared between patients and doctors, and whispered words of encouragement from loved ones hung heavy in the cold air. He encountered creatures made entirely of loneliness, their forms hunched and their expressions vacant. The once vibrant patient rooms were devoid of personal touches, the walls stark and impersonal. Finally, guided by the faint echo of a child's story read by a parent at bedside held within a shimmering thread, the forgotten bandage reached a towering obsidian operating table, the devourer's heart. The creature, a grotesque collage of stolen compassion and fractured connections, loomed before him. Fear threatened to unravel the forgotten bandage, but then he remembered Dr. Anya's teachings. Healing wasn't just about medicine. It was about the human touch, the act of listening, and the stories shared that created a web of support. Taking a deep breath, the forgotten bandage began to mend the broken connections. With practiced dexterity, he used the threads and his enchanted stethoscope to breathe life back into the forgotten kindnesses. He stitched together stories of patience drawing strength from loved ones' visits, highlighted the comforting presence of a doctor holding a hand, and wove tapestries depicting the silent understanding between nurses and patients. As he mended, the desolate cavern pulsed with the forgotten warmth of human connection. The devourer, momentarily stunned by the resurgence of empathy, faltered. The stolen compassion, awakened by the forgotten bandage's act of mending, began to flicker faintly within its dark form. He spoke of the importance of human connection, the comfort found in shared stories, and the wonder of a hospital where healing was not just physical but emotional as well. With a deafening roar, the devourer erupted, spewing forth the stolen empathy in a dazzling display of swirling light and shimmering threads. The sterile rooms bloomed with patient drawings and family photos. The creatures reconnected with their capacity for care, and the staff of the hospital, once again, moved with renewed compassion, their interactions a symphony of care and connection. The forgotten bandage emerged from the cavern of broken hearts a hero, the human connection restored in the hospital. Dr. Anya, her eyes filled with admiration, declared the forgotten bandage the next weaver of well-being. Together, they continued to nurture the spirit of compassion, ensuring that the hospital remained a beacon of hope. The forgotten bandage, forever grateful for his patchwork design, became a symbol of the power of human connection. He showed everyone that even the most unexpected combination of stories could mend a broken spirit and remind them that healing came not just from medicine, but from the warmth of human connection.
The rusty nail's big hold. Deep within a dusty toolbox, nestled amongst shiny hammers and forgotten screwdrivers, lived a tiny, rusty nail named Nail. Unlike his bright, pointed friends who held sturdy structures together, Nail was dull and bent. He dreamt of building grand creations, but worried no important project would trust him to hold firm. His friend, Ms. Toolbox, was a wise soul with a worn leather handle and a heart full of stories from countless builds. She wasn't just a toolbox, she was the keeper of craftsmanship, reminding everyone that even the smallest nail could play a crucial role in a magnificent creation. One day, an unsettling silence fell upon the workshop. No rhythmic hammering, no happy shouts of builders raising walls. Ms. Toolbox explained a shadowy figure called the Stealer of Stability had arrived. This grumpy wrecking ball with a swinging chain stole the strength from buildings, leaving them crumbling and unsafe. Nail, though scared, couldn't bear a world without strong structures. He volunteered to find the Stealer in the land of forgotten foundations. Armed with Ms. Toolbox's magical hammer, it held the power of 1,000 sturdy buildings and a pouch of soft felt scraps. To cushion delicate creations, Nail embarked on his adventure. He thumped past rows of teetering towers and grumpy creatures huddled in makeshift shelters. They spoke of shaky walls and constant fear, their faces etched with worry. Nail offered a reassuring wiggle, remembering Ms. Toolbox's words, "Even the smallest nail can hold a grand structure together." Finally, he reached a towering pile of rubble, the Stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with a wrecking ball chained to its arm was surrounded by captured beams and bricks trapped in shimmering bubbles. Nail surprised the Stealer with a gentle tap. Confused and lonely, the Stealer confessed. They yearned to create strong buildings but feared the responsibility and pressure of holding everything together. Nail offered a tiny, hand-carved model house made from wood scraps, a symbol of the importance of teamwork and support. The Stealer, touched, released all the stolen strength. Nail tapped Ms. Toolbox's magical hammer, sending a surge of stability through the land of forgotten foundations. Crumbling buildings righted themselves, bricks flew back into place, and creatures cheered, feeling the ground firm beneath their feet. The Stealer, now a friend, helped Nail return to the toolbox. The workshop buzzed with the happy clang of hammers and the shouts of builders working together once more. Ms. Toolbox, relieved and proud, declared Nail the forger of strength. Resting amongst his fellow nails, Nail finally felt his bent shape allowed him to fit into unique spaces. He learned that even the smallest nail could play a vital role in a grand structure, and even scary shadows just needed a friend to understand the importance of teamwork and support. With a content sigh, Nail dreamed of the day he would be hammered into place, holding a strong and safe haven for someone in need. The Lost Socks Big Adventure. Deep within a cluttered laundry basket, nestled amongst forgotten shirts and lonely gloves, lived a tiny, lone sock named Lefty. Unlike his fluffy companions who kept feet warm and cozy, Lefty was missing his partner, Righty. He dreamt of reuniting and bringing comfort, but worried he wouldn't be able to complete the whole pair on his own. His friend, Ms. Washing Machine, was a wise soul with a gentle spin cycle and a heart full of stories from countless loads of laundry. She wasn't just a washing machine, she was the keeper of lost and found, reminding everyone that even the smallest piece could be part of something bigger. One day, an unsettling silence fell upon the laundry room. No happy shouts of children searching for socks, no joyful sighs of contentment as people slipped on warm clothes. Ms. Washing Machine explained a shadowy figure called the Stealer of Comfort had arrived. This grumpy dryer monster with a roaring heat stole the softness from clothes, leaving them itchy and uncomfortable. Lefty, though scared, couldn't bear a world without comfort. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten warmth. Armed with Ms. Washing Machine's magical clothespin, it held the power of 1,000 fluffy towels and a pouch of lavender sachets. To spread a sense of calm and well-being, Lefty embarked on his adventure. He bounced past rows of stiff shirts and grumpy creatures shivering in scratchy clothes. They spoke of lost softness and forgotten comfort, their faces etched with discomfort. Lefty offered a gentle wiggle, remembering Ms. Washing Machine's words, "Even the smallest piece can contribute to warmth and comfort." Finally, he reached a towering, rusty dryer vent, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with a blast of hot air blowing from its mouth guarded a collection of stolen softness trapped in shimmering bubbles. Lefty surprised the stealer with a gentle nudge. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to provide warmth but feared the responsibility of caring for everyone's comfort. Lefty offered a tiny, hand-stitched potholder made from fabric scraps, a symbol of the importance of caring gestures. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen softness. Lefty clipped Ms. Washing Machine's magical clothespin, showering the land of forgotten warmth with a gentle breeze and fluffy softness. Clothes puffed up with comfort, creatures sighed with contentment, and the stealer, now a friend, helped Lefty return to the laundry basket. The laundry room hummed with the happy sighs of people putting on soft clothes once more. Ms. Washing Machine, relieved and proud, declared Lefty the champion of comfort. Nestled amongst his fellow socks, Lefty finally felt his single form held a purpose. He learned that even the smallest piece could contribute to something bigger, and even grumpy shadows just needed a friend to understand the importance of caring gestures. With a content sigh, Lefty drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the day he would be reunited with Righty, bringing double the comfort to someone in need. Good night.
The Forgotten Key's Big Discovery. Deep within a dusty attic trunk, nestled amongst forgotten trinkets and faded photographs, lived a tiny, forgotten key named Click. Unlike his gleaming companions who unlocked grand doors and held secrets, Click was tarnished and worn, his teeth chipped and his purpose unknown. He dreamt of opening a door to a hidden world, but worried no lock would recognize his touch. His friend, Ms. Dusty Book, was a wise soul with yellowed pages and a heart full of forgotten stories. She wasn't just a book. She was the keeper of lost memories, reminding everyone that even the smallest key could unlock a treasure trove of the past. One day, an unsettling silence fell upon the attic. No whispered secrets shared between family members, no joyful laughter as children explored forgotten treasures. Ms. Dusty Book explained a shadowy creature called the Stealer of Memories had arrived. This grumpy old clock with a frozen face stole the memories from people, leaving them with blank slates and a hollow ache in their hearts. Click, though scared, couldn't bear a world without memories. He volunteered to find the stealer in the land of forgotten pasts. Armed with Ms. Dusty Book's magical locket, it held the power of 1,000 treasured memories, and a pouch of soft feather bookmarks to mark the start of a new chapter. Click embarked on his adventure. He creaked through dusty corners past rows of vacant faces with vacant eyes. They mumbled about a world without stories, their faces etched with confusion and loss. Click offered a gentle wiggle of his tarnished teeth, remembering Ms. Dusty Book's words, "Even the smallest key can unlock a treasure chest of memories." Finally, he reached a towering, frozen clock tower, the stealer's lair. Inside, a large, shadowy figure with a stuck clock face for a head cradled a swirling vortex filled with stolen memories. Click surprised the stealer with a soft click. Confused and lonely, the stealer confessed. They yearned to experience the joy of memories, but feared the pain of remembering sadness and loss. Click offered a tiny, hand-stitched leather journal made from old scraps, a symbol of the importance of holding memories, both happy and sad. The stealer, touched, released all the stolen memories. Click used Ms. Dusty Book's magical locket, showering the land of forgotten pasts with a shimmering stream of memories. Faces softened, smiles bloomed, and tears of joy streamed down cheeks as forgotten moments were relived. The stealer, now a friend, helped Click return to the attic trunk. The attic buzzed with the happy chatter of shared memories once more. Ms. Dusty Book, relieved and proud, declared Click the keeper of untold stories. Nestled amongst his fellow keys, Click finally felt his worn teeth held a powerful purpose. He learned that even the smallest key could unlock a treasure trove of memories, and even grumpy shadows just needed a friend to understand the beauty and importance of holding onto the past, good or bad. With a content sigh, Click dreamt of the day he would find his perfect lock, ready to unlock a door to a world waiting to be remembered.